Well, race fans, it's a big night here at Ashwegan Speedway. Victory Games presenting this card of racing tonight. And history is being made right here at Ashwegan because 9 o'clock we're going live, ready or not, on MAV TV. And I think we're more ready than we think you are, even though there's still some thrashing going on up here. That's all part of the fun. We're going to get things started this evening with the Crate Sprint Car Heats. 4 heats, the top 5 finishers from each qualifying heat will make it in tonight's A main. Here's how they're going to line up. On the pole in car number 3B out of Welland, Ontario, it's Blaine Barrow. On the outside of row 1 from Beamsville, the 1A is Paul Klager. Row 2 on the inside out of Brantford, the 49L is Lucas Smith. Alongside him from Hamilton, the 56 is Derek Lemaire. Starting 5th from Port Colborne, the 5D is Jacob Dykstra. And starting 6th from Caledonia, the 88 is Jesse McDonald. Starting 7th from Hagersville, the MK8 is Matthew Hill. Alongside him, also from Hagersville, the 14T of Noel Teal. Rounding out the field on the inside of row number 5 from Scotland, the 83 is Spencer Davis. And alongside him, I believe this is his first outing with us, car number 39 from Kitchener, Shane Stickle. Flagman Kyle McKenzie telling them one more lap will set them loose out of turn number 4. A few slight changes to the procedures this season. In years past, it has always been the front row fires at the same time, right at the chalk line that they drew in turn number 4. This season, Doug Leonard says, look, the pole sitter sets the pace. The pole sitter has the right to fire first. That's how we're going to do it. So you should see the inside row taken off, and then the outside row can fire pretty much alongside. But Greg, we don't want to see the outside pole sitter beat the pole sitter off at turn number 4. That'll be an indication to race director Doug Leonard he might want to call it back.
Yeah, we saw that happen a couple of times last week, and this time we get a good clean start by Blaine Barrow and Paul Klager on that front row as they fire off down into corner 1.
How impressed were you with Blaine Barrow last Friday, Greg? Sorry, I see you're about to do something there.
Oh, he looked head and shoulders better than what he did last year. He has really improved. He came on late in the season and really continuing it. We see him out in front right now, leading over Lucas Smith and Paul Klager.
He's actually a driver I'd like to talk to find out what he did over the offseason or what he's done differently, because he looks great out there. Good to see him running as quickly as he is. Lucas Smith in second, Derek Lemaire third, fourth to the number 1 of Paul Klager, and then rounding out the top 5, last car in a transfer spot. Oh, problems for Blaine Barrow. Wow, that could have been awful. Derek Lemaire just misses, and then Jesse McDonald spins around, lays the car over on its side. Noel Teal involved, so 2 of the Glenn Stiers racing entries with Enrium Dynamics on them involved in that incident.
Red flag comes out, and Spencer Davis is the car on its side over on the entry to corner number 3, and he took a bit of a shot to the belly pan of that car, and looks like he is okay. They're working on the car right now, get it back up on all 4 wheels, but pretty scary shot that he took on the underneath of that 83 machine. Pardon me, that's the 88 of Jesse McDonald. My mistake there, but
yeah, Spencer Davis got through that unscathed,
yeah, he's
I believe.
up there on the high side. Well, we've got 3 cars all in a bunch. They're all the same color, same sponsors, and all involved somewhat in that as we see Jesse McDonald getting out. And that's a good sight to see him out. I'm sure he's not happy, but good to see Jesse.
Oh, he's in a little bit of discomfort.
Pain, yeah. Looks like he's holding his wrist possibly. So the safety crew on the scene to attend to Jesse. Noel Teal will also go on the hook, as you see down in corner number 3 as the Steve's Towing crew down there to hook her up and get her into the pit area. Looks like front end damage as she made contact with the 88 of Jesse McDonald. And that all started with Blaine Barrow, who lost power coming off of corner 2 and basically nowhere for everyone to go. They were racing 2 and 3 wide behind him, and it just caused that melee.
Yeah, such an unfortunate situation because people were slowing down, able to get around it, and then with these cars, once they turn sideways, if you turn a sprint car sideways to the right, all the weight, all the stagger, it'll normally dig in and at least flop over, if not flip over. So Jesse McDonald, the car looks like it should be fairly easy to repair. Hopefully Jesse McDonald isn't too injured to compete in the B main.
Some wing panel damage to Blaine Barrows 3B in the Rich's drywall machine, so he will get pushed to the pit area, and hopefully they can figure what went wrong originally to cause the car to lose power, and then fix that top wing as well so that he can come back for tonight's B main.
And a wrecker backing up or a flat deck to pick up Derek Lemaire. I'll tell you who this is a fortunate situation for is Jacob Dykstra, who had been in the 6th position. And I know there was only 2 laps complete in this heat, but he really didn't look like he was making huge gains to close in on a transfer spot.
Once again, I want to thank Victory Games for bringing us tonight's racing action.
And Greg, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but folks, if you have not signed up yet at victorygames.com, go to the OshwekenSpeedway.com website, go to racerivals.com. Remember, it ends with a Z. You want to sign up next week. Victory Games, and we're going to talk about this in more detail a little bit later on, but they have guaranteed $1,000 in prizes. It's a pool betting system. It's like a fantasy pool kind of, Greg, where you pick drivers in pairs. You've got to log on. It's free to play next week in all 4 of our divisions, mini stock, thunder stock, crate sprints, and 360 wing sprints. The prize for winning the pool, and folks, you do not need any skill to participate in these pools, is $250 each. Win all 4 pools, Greg. You could win $1,000 courtesy of Victory Games. They're doing these for free to get people interested, to get people to have a look and try it out. We tested it out last week. All sorts of fun. I think it's really going to take off, and we're glad that they've chosen Oshweken Speedway to work with and test this out.
And if you're looking for direct links to that, you can go right to the OshwekenSpeedway.com webpage, and the links are right there. You'll see the banner ads for that, so check that out next time you're on OshwekenSpeedway.com. Derek Lemaire will get the quasi ride from the flatbed. I think it was because they were out of tow trucks, so they just wanted to get Derek Lemaire pulled off. They've got him kind of strapped to the ramp there on the flatbed, and they will get the 56 Burger Barn machine to the pit area.
Clinton Jeffrey on the scene now, so they better get it right, or Clinton Jeffrey's going to have something to say about it. Coming across the racetrack in turn 4, down the front straightaway. It's been a stressful week for Clinton Jeffrey, Greg, as if he doesn't have enough on his plate. This TV opportunity is really put everything under the microscope, right? You got to have everything right. Clinton, if you don't know much about Clinton Jeffrey, he is an intense individual. As long as things go right, it's wonderful. It always goes right.
Down there inspecting the camera that we have set up for the speed shot. And Adam, last week we had some amazing shots between the fence shots, the mobile camera that Clinton had on him. The guys, Dave and Greg, working the normal cameras, some amazing shots, and we're going to continue to add to that.
I don't know about you, but I got about 10 messages from different people saying how cool it was, the different looks that people had at what was going on, the different angles. Apparently we had a good show, Greg, because people commented on you and I and how we worked together. I kind of preferred it when people just thought we didn't like each other.
I was going to say, no one likes me, I guess, because I didn't hear a thing. So I'm glad.
I think plenty of people like you. You're fairly likable when you're not right next to me.
That's why I had 4 kids. I was trying to build the pool of people that like me, right? Well, that thinned the field a little bit here and makes things easier for the 6 drivers still out there. Lucas Smith in the 49L, the 1 of Paul Klager, the 5D of Jacob Dykstra, the 8 of Matt Hill, the 83 of Spencer Davis, and the 39 of Shane Stickle coming to Kyle McKenzie's green flag. We're back on it with 2 on the board and 6 laps to go.
So 5 cars transfer into the A main, so only 1 car will not get into the feature. that is on the track right now. And Shane Stickle, this is his maiden voyage, as far as I know, in a dirt sprint car.
A former Oscar modified driver is where he has made his name best known, in that 39 machine here tonight, driving that white and black car here for the first time at the Great Sprints.
So the leader's running a low line. Shane Stickle running quite low on the racetrack as well, trying to close in on Spencer Davis in that NRAM number 83. Spencer Davis moving up the racetrack towards the cushion. They're running in the 5th position as laps begin to wind down.
Lucas Smith across the stripe another time. 5 in the books, 3 left to go. And this 49L machine, really expect him to be a title contender this year. He was very strong in his rookie campaign, and he's flexing the muscle once again here tonight, coming to 2 laps to go in the Massage Pro 49L.
Lucas Smith looking great. The Schneider Electric number 1 of Paul Klager in 2nd. But look, we're about to have a battle for 5th, folks. The B main is scheduled to be the first race run on the live TV broadcast, and there's not a driver here tonight who wants to be in that race. It is a stressful, stressful competition. So if Shane Stickle can make one pass on this lap, it'd be a huge benefit to him. But looks like Lucas Smith going to take this home. But keep an eye on that battle at the back.
Smith will cross the line, and he will take the checkered flags and the heat race winner for Paul Klager. Matt Hill, Jacob Dykstra third, Matt Hill fourth, and Spencer Davis will hold on to the 5th and final transfer spot, putting Shane Stickle into tonight's B main, along with the host of drivers involved in that crash on lap number 2. So there's your winner, Lucas Smith, in the Massage Pro number 49L. Picks up the heat race win over Paul Klager. Jacob Dykstra, Matt Hill, and Spencer Davis in the 83. Those are your transfer cars here from this first qualifying heat race. Heat race number 2 coming to life over in the push-off track off of corner number 3. The starting lineup looks like this. Going from the pole out of St. Thomas, Ontario is Jesse Costa in the 52. Alongside him out of Beachville, Ontario, DJ Christie in the 5. Going from third out of Rockwood, Ontario, the 74, that's Rob Neely. And starting in 4th, out of Ohsweken, it's Josh Hill. Jordan Hill will go from the 5th position in the 28 machine. He's from Ohsweken. And Darren Dryden in that Durnan Motorsports number 43 out of Freelton. He'll start in 6th. Going from 7th, it's Lofton Schutz out of Oakland in car number 10. And Alan Downey out of Hamilton in the 19th. He goes from 8th. Starting in 9th, Frank Turkey out of Ohsweken in the 38. And Tyler Ward in the 29W will go from the 10th spot. Tyler out of Woodstock. Second qualifying heat, again, top 5 will transfer to tonight's A main. The rest will go to the B main. Last year, Jesse Costa in that 52 broke the nickname of Heat Race Ace. He had had a lot of heat race wins, but couldn't get that feature win. Finally broke through, went on a tear, and then injured his back.
You can't say broke twice just before you talk about the guy who broke his back.
But good.
You did, and you can, and you did, but you shouldn't have done that.
It's good to see him back.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's excited to be here.
Side by side with DJ Christie down into 1 and 2. Here comes Christie with a head of steam on the outside line, but Costa works it well off of 2 and keeps the lead. Troubles for Jordan Hill, slow going into 3.
Hill slow, Alan Downey a little bit behind the pack as he closes in. Hopefully Jordan Hill able to limp that car around and get off to a safe spot, but I don't think he's going to be able to. We will have to go yellow. This is Clinton Jeffrey's worst nightmare.
Keeping an eye on the clock. We're only an hour and 10 minutes from 9. Jordan Hill there in the Club 54 Racing. Car down stopped to the entry at corner number 4. And Jordan, returning to Crate Sprint Car Racing last year, did a nice job in returning. Of course, the former driver of the Steyrs Racing team.
Now you should hear it all along if you're going to hear it.
I expect some good things out of Jordan again this season.
Yeah, he had some good runs. The push truck is closed in on him. Jordan trying to communicate something.
Want to wish a happy 22nd birthday to Megan Mitchell. Happy birthday, Megan.
race fans, if you like looking at things a little bit differently, as I do, over the course of the night, have a look at when something happens and a car stops on the track and count how long it takes one of our safety personnel or safety vehicles to get to that car. I'll bet you're not able to count to more than 10 seconds.
Good thing it's not you or I.
If it's downhill, I can get there. If there's any obstacles, it might be a challenge.
Unless it's Sean Iftadi. Someone yelled cheeseburger. We're both there, but.
Cheeseburger.
Well, Jordan Hill's still not able to get the 28 machine fired, so they're going to have to push him to the pits.
Yeah, we had a slight miscue there of the push vehicle. Isn't it quiet up here, Greg?
It is.
For those who don't know, and if you're wondering why you don't get to hear Doug Leonard in the background screaming and yelling anymore, they built us a wall. We are now partitioned from
Looks like Tyler Ward will be headed to the pit area in the 29W, or will he be able to fire? No. Does get the car fired off, and we will get back to it in one lap's time as Tyler will join the tail of the field. 50-50 tickets still on sale. Flag down, the sellers in the pink T-shirts.
Jesse Costa out in front of that number 52. DJ Christie in the 5. Rob Neely in the 74. Darren Dryden in the 43. Lofton Schutz in the 10.
Everyone makes a clean pass the restart cone. Jesse Costa will lead them off at corner number 2. Darren Dryden really took the long way around through 1 and 2 and lost ground to Alan Downey.
Yeah, Alan Downey closes right in on the number 43. Dryden hits a better line in 3 and 4, so he's able to open up a little bit. But let's see if Alan Downey can keep pace. Tyler Ward right behind him, heading up to the outside of the racetrack in that 29 machine. But at the front, it is all Jesse Costa as we reach the halfway mark of this heat.
4 and 4 to go. Again, top 5 will transfer to tonight's A main. And DJ Christie, something went wrong when he went in corner number 1. The car goes up the banking, and now he'll go straight to the pit area. A couple of bad weeks for DJ Christie. Now Tyler Ward will go around in corner 2, and that brings out the caution again. It looked to me as though maybe something broke on the 5 of DJ Christie as he went into corner number 1. The car shot up the hill, and then it looked as though he was not going to be able to make it back to the track, and he did not. He headed straight for the pit area. Now, that car that he is driving is actually his tour car that he runs with the Action Sprint Tour, because a week ago they had an intake valve go, and I guess they were pretty close to blowing the motor in the primary car for here at Oshwegan, so the tour car having problems.
Nice to have that option to go to a backup car, and a lot of race teams do that. The ones that can afford it, to have the equipment side by side, it is a great luxury, so they can take a little bit more time to address the situation that's gone wrong. Good that they have that. Always beautiful race cars they prepare.
So Tyler Ward will once again try and get the push and join the tail of the field, and this is important for him because there's only 6 cars left in this qualifying heat. He's got a chance to make the A main here.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
White flag will set him loose this time at a turn 4. Alan Downey going to have to close into the field. He'll close into the back end of the 43 of Darren Dryden, who runs in that 4th position. Still leaving a little bit of a gap, and probably a wise choice. But you have to be close enough to not cause trouble for cars behind you as well.
Field shakes it down into corner number 1 with Costa, Neely, and Lofton. Shuts now the top 3. Darren Dryden back there in 4th, and it's Alan Downey and Tyler Ward battling for that 5th and final transfer spot.
2 laps left. Lofton Schutz gets up the racetrack. It does not look like the outside groove is very predictable for these drivers right now. Everyone that we see venture up there really has trouble getting the cars to turn. One final lap to end this great qualifying heat. Once again, we've got a battle for the 5th and final transfer spot. Out front is Jesse Costa with the win. Rob Neely going to come home 2nd. 3rd to Lofton Schutz, 4th to Darren Dryden, 5th to Alan Downey. He's in the show. Tyler Ward in the 29W going to head for the B main event. So will DJ Christie in the 5 and Jordan Hill in the 28.
2 more qualifying heats to go for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. That will be followed tonight by the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack 360 Sprint Cars, and then we'll go into our stock car qualifying. We'll see 4 races in total, 2 in each division to set the field for their features tonight.
Heat race number 3, Brian Nanicoke going to start from the pole on the 9C. Alongside him from Hagersville, the 49H of Jerry Hill. Row number 2 on the inside from Burford, the 12 is Brad Heron, and on the outside from Oshwegan, the 38M is Derek Miller. Starting 5th from St. Catharines, the 22 junior of Alan Galetta. Starting 6th from Ancaster, the 51 of Trevor Young. Starting 7th from London, car number 7 is Caleb Wood. Starting 8th from Mount Bridges, the 45 is Nick Sheridan. Rounding out the field, starting 9th from Six Nations, number 20 is Johnny Miller. Nine cars, 5 will qualify for the feature event. What a great promotion Clinton Jeffrey came up with. I believe it was his idea, the $30 carload night, Greg. You could put 6 people in a car. Where can you go and have a night out of entertainment for $5 a head?
Oh, fantastic deal. Great work by Clinton and the crew to get that to happen here tonight. Also having a sign competition for the kids. Brian Nanakoke, he had a good solid week in the qualifying heat 1 week ago. I believe he won his qualifying heat.
Yeah, he looked really good. Another driver that looked good who struggled with hard luck is all the way at the back of the field, Caleb Wood in that number 7. He had a great showing.
Runner-up 1 week ago to Liam Martin. Coming to the green flag, Brian Nanakoke, Jerry Hill, they get on the loud pedal, and we are underway in this third qualifying heat for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division.
They spread out down into turn 1. Caleb Wood spreads out a little too far, gets up off the racetrack. He'll have his work cut out for him now as the field drives away down the backstretch.
Off at corner 4 they come. Brian Nanakoke leading over Jerry Hill, Brad Aaron, and then you've got that 38 machine right now of Derek Miller holding down 4th, and Sheridan kind of squirrely. He'll be 3 wide almost off of 2. Now make it 2 wide with Johnny Miller.
You know, and Sheridan wasn't going to be in too much trouble. The driver who had a decision to make was Al Galetta in the 22, who wanted to drive between him and the car to the inside, but wisely chose not to.
The guy that's trying to make something happen and make it happen fast right now is Caleb Wood. We mentioned runner-up a week ago in the feature event, and he's trying to find a lane that will get him into the top 5 right now. He's stuck behind the 51 of Trevor Young.
And he's driving into the corner harder than anybody, but that's not where you make your speed in these crate sprints. You make your speed getting through the turn and off the turn without losing a lot of momentum.
Brian Nanakoke again solid in that number 9C machine. The Canada Fuels ride leads the way. Here's the battle for second. It is over as Brad Herron shoots by Jerry Hill, put Hill back to 3rd, and Derek Miller still back there in 4th.
How competitive is Johnny Miller in that number 20 Glenn Steyer's racing entry, sponsored by Ashwegan Speedway?
That kid is one cool cucumber, and we're seeing it again here tonight as he holds down the inside line. Trevor Young trying to work by him in the Hallett Home Improvements 51. 2 laps to go for the leader.
Realistically, if it ends up like this, they're racing for a starting spot in the B main because the 5th transfer position is Sheridan up ahead of them in the 45. But Trevor Young had a nice run off of turn number 2. He's got just over a lap to close in on the Sheridan 45. Can he do it?
Time ticking down. 1 lap left to go as the fight for 4th and 5th goes on between Sheridan and Miller. Gives Sheridan the 4th spot. Miller opens the door. Here comes Trevor Young for the final transfer spot.
Young to the inside of Miller. Nanakoke going to win another qualifying heat. Brad Herron 2nd, Jerry Hill 3rd, 4th goes to Sheridan, and Trevor Young, what a race, puts himself into the show.
He did it the hard way, but he did it in a way that was fun to watch. Trevor Young gets the final transfer spot in that number 51. There's your winner of the 9C, the Canada Fuels ride of Brian Nanakoke for Brad Herron in the 12, Jerry Hill in the 49H, Nick Sheridan in the 45, and the 51 of Trevor Young in the Hallett Home Improvement ride. He will get the 5th and final transfer spot, so that'll put Johnny Miller, Derek Miller, Caleb Wood, and Alan Galetta into tonight's B-Main. 4th and final qualifying heat coming onto the speedway for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division, going from the pole out of Caledonia in the R52, the gunslinger Ryan Hunsinger. Alongside out of Vanessa in the 4, that is Hannah Farrell, the Hurricane. Hannah Farrell starting 2nd. Going from 3rd out of Stony Creek, the 24A, that'll be A.J. Lewis. And starting in the 4th spot out of Font Hill, the 08 is Stephen Beckett. Going from 5th out of Brampton in the 70mm, that's Dave McKnight Jr. And going from 6th out of Kitchener, the 50 LS, that is Adrian Stahl. Starting in 7th, last week's feature winner out of Binbrook, the 29, that'll be Liam Martin. And going from 8th out of Thamesford and the 14, that's Eric Gledhill. And going from the 9th spot, Travis Holstetter. Pardon me, Hofstetter. In car number 2.
Looks like a bit of a troubled area there between 3 and 4, Greg, on the inside. A little bit of a rumble strip going on.
Holstetter not making the calls, so Ryan Hunsinger not out there.
Well, and he didn't race last Friday either, one of the newest Wall of Fame recipients. And I'll tell you, other drivers who have had their struggles, A.J. Lewis, I've been at 2 races this year where he was there to compete and the car did not perform, had engine troubles both times. Right behind him, Dave McKnight Jr. in that Lifto number 70. He raced at Merrittville Speedway a couple of weeks ago and wound up on his lid. Didn't seem to be a ton of damage, but definitely put some wrinkles in a brand new race car.
A.J. Lewis Lewis will lead the pack down in corner number 1, the Instapanels 24. Here comes the Hurricane. Hannah Farrell working the outside line on the backstretch.
This is farther than I've seen A.J. Lewis get, so hopefully they've got those gremlins cleared out as wow. Dave McKnight, big air time as he makes contact with Liam Martin's number 29. Very fortunate that that car didn't flip wildly off of turn number 4. The car settled back down. He was able to control it to a stop. Clinton Jeffrey, I can hear him on the scene.
Hey guys, great to be back here tonight. Obviously, Dave McKnight had problems at Merrittville, the Action Sprint Tour. Same type of situation, except at Merrittville, he went over, guys. A bit of contact here. They touched wheels. He did get airborne a little bit, but the car appears to be all right. I don't see any issues here on the 70mm of Dave McKnight. Wanted to mention he had a lot of the Toyota Lifto people here tonight, and we don't see any damage on that car, guys, so he should be able to continue on without issue.
Looks like the crew going to roll him back down towards the racing surface, probably get him pointed in the right direction. They'll be able to push him off and get him back into action. Clint, talk about the racetrack right down there where McKnight is. Is that going to smooth itself out, do you think? That looks like a little bit of clay ready to turn itself over.
Well, that's the exact issue we've got here, Adam. We have a bit of a chunk starting to turn up, and Sean, if you look at the track here, we've got a bit of chunk coming up here right in the middle of the groove, and that is going to give us a bit of an issue tonight as we watch McKnight get pushed off. But the crew will continue to push it down. We'll pack it in throughout the night, Adam, and we'll see what develops here throughout the evening.
And the nice thing is, anything that develops on the track, the speedway is 8 lanes wide. All it does, okay, I'm either going to go under it or I'm going to go over it. You make that decision, Greg, and decide where you're going to drive the car.
And then guys like Dylan Westbrook will go through it.
Just plow right through it and look good doing it.
Ready to come back to the green flag with Hannah Farrell leading over A.J. Lewis and Stephen Beckett. Last week's winner has worked his way up to the 4th spot. Liam Martin in the 29.
Green flag out once again. A.J. Lewis drives to the inside of the racetrack looking for racing room under Hannah Farrell. Dave McKnight goes way up the bank in turn 1, comes back down with a nice head of steam.
Off of corner 4, Hannah Farrell will lead the lap. And Hannah struggled a little bit last Friday night, so good to see her getting that car wound up and working well here this evening with A.J. Lewis hanging in tough in that 2nd spot. Beckett there in 3rd, Martin in 4th. And it's Glenhill right now, that final transfer spot. But here comes Adrian Stoll to the inside.
Adrian to the inside, down into turn number 1. Now he's on the outside being challenged, but he'll have a nice run off of turn number 2. Good at keeping his momentum. I spoke with him at Merrittville. He goes by Staley.
So it's Hannah Farrell continuing to command this one. This time by it'll be 5 laps complete and 3 to go in the final qualifying heat for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. Sideways was A.J. Lewis off of corner number 4, and that closes the gap between he and 3rd place Stephen Beckett.
Yeah, A.J. Lewis got in that spot in turn 4 that you don't want to be. It lifted the car right up in the air as Dave McKnight goes around between 1 and 2. That's going to force a yellow flag here. Good little piece of publicity for a sponsor if you're watching the live feed. Do you lift? Lifto. A Toyota company. Dave's been around this sport a long, long time. He knows get those sponsors in when you can. Of course, his father was a great innovator, race car builder in the super modified ranks. Also owned my favorite car that Warren Conium ever drove. Warren Conium drove a lot of race cars. I always liked the entries he ran for Dave McKnight Sr.
So 3 laps left to go in this final qualifying heat for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. Then we'll follow it up with the Cool Kids Ice and Water. Corpac Merchandising 360 sprint cars. You see them over there on the warm-up track getting ready for their qualifying heats. Following that, we will go into the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks with their 2 qualifiers, 15 laps apiece to set the fields for the A-Mains tonight. And then the HRW Automotive Mini Stock qualifiers, 15 laps for those as well.
Look at the size of the white flag that young man's waving down just under the start-finish line. Do you know how... Flex your muscles for us. You must have arms like Popeye down there.
Thanks again. Goes out to
Attaboy.
VictoryGames.com for bringing us tonight's racing action. Victory Games with a Z on the end of that, .com. Going back to the green flag. Hannah Farrell still out in front of her. A.J. Lewis, Stephen Beckett, Liam Martin, and Adrian Staley right now. The top 5, those are the transfer cars.
Dave McKnight gets up off the banking, and that number 70 trying to build some momentum up on the outside. That did not work out for him. '14 of Eric Glenhill up into a transfer spot. He runs in that 5th position. Behind him is Staley in the 50, losing a little bit of ground as the white flag flies this time by Kyle McKenzie.
Final time around for the Hurricane. Hannah Farrell has had a very good run here in this qualifying heat. A.J. Lewis back there in second. As they come to the checkered flag, the Hurricane is going to pick up the win. Hannah Farrell wins over A.J. Lewis, Stephen Beckett, Liam Martin, and the 14 machine, the teammate to Hannah Farrell,
Eric Glenhill.
Eric Glenhill.
I'm here for you, Greg.
Well, wasn't on the live scoring. There he is. We've got contradicting names on the 2 lists. Nonetheless, Hannah Farrell will pick up the win in the 4 machine. The Oakwood Transport, number 4. And qualifying concluded. Heat race qualifying, that is, for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. They'll be back with their B mains after the intermission once we go to the live broadcast on MAV TV Canada. First of 3 qualifying heats out onto the speedway for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Sprint Cars. Going from the pole out of Beamsville in the 88H, the part source machine, that is Josh Hansen. Going from the 2nd spot in the Rip Shot, car number 17X, that is the highlight man, Mac DeMan out of Mississauga in the 17X. He'll go 2nd. Going 3rd out of Oshwegan in the Nitro 54 variety, number 15, it's Dan Nanakoke. And in the fleet contracting, car number 80, the real deal, Chris Steele will go from 4th out of St. Catharines, Ontario. Starting in 5th, the Fiberworks Composite, number 49, and that is the straight shooter Scott Kruder from Ulm, New York. And going from 6th out of Caring Cross, in the 9B, it's Scott Burke. Starting 7th at Caister Center, the Burger Barn, Ace 1 Construction 13 of Corey Turner. And going from the 8th position in the Burger Barn, number 55, Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne. And from the 9th and final starting spot, the 4x Designs, number 15, the President, Mike Farrell out of London.
That's got to be a tough nickname to live up to.
It's not easy being a president.
I beg to... Never mind. You may notice a little bit different sound, a little bit different speed out of the 360 sprint cars. They look like the same cars we just qualified, but they go a whole lot faster, Greg.
360 cubic inches, and they will get wound up. Get ready. Hold on. If you haven't seen these cars before, they will put the horsepower to the track. Kyle McKenzie's ready to set them loose. Josh Hansen fires it off into corner 1.
Hansen with a great start from the bottom of the racetrack. Look at Kruder. He's aggressively looking for racing room around Dan Nanakoke, but he's going to lose a spot to Chris Steele.
Off of corner 4 they go. Josh Hansen is the leader with Mac DeMan, Dan Nanakoke, Chris Steele, and Scott Kruder right now in the top 5. Good battle back there for the 4th spot.
Corey Turner in that Burger Barn number 13. Ace 1 Construction looking to the inside of both of them. He'll have to back off. What a job Dan Nanakoke's doing. He's holding off some heavy competition there for that 3rd spot.
The youngster Josh Hansen, first full year behind the wheel of a 360 sprint car, out in front over Mac DeMan and looking strong doing it. He'll sail it off of 4, coming to the 3 lap to go mark, 5 to go to this one.
McDeman got a little bit squirrely there in 3 and 4, and Dan Anico was right behind him. He got squirrely as well. That allowed Kruder and Turner to close in just a little bit, but they haven't been able to do much with him.
All right, we'll get it straight here. That's the 4-lap complete mark. We're at the halfway point here for Josh Hansen, the Martin Source 88H McDeman. Following him along again, Dan Anico, great run up in third, but he's got Scott Kruder all over the rear Nerf bar.
Scott Kruder, always aggressive, the driver from Alden, New York. Wow, that was a close squeeze out of turn 4. And problems for Hansen. I think he missed his mark going into 1. That allowed McDeman to close in.
DeMan dive bombs down to the inside line, comes off a corner 4, hit the bump, but makes it stick. Oh, got tagged from the back end by Josh Hansen. Now we've got Dan Anicoke around in corner 4, and that will make the caution flag fly. But what an exchange at the front of the field.
And that could have been Josh Hansen pulling up alongside of McDeman. These are 2 young drivers with nerves of steel.
They absolutely are. Josh Hansen has impressed since he joined the crate sprint car division and has just shown no signs that he has any nervousness in him. And right there, McDeman dove it in deep down in corner 3, came off of 4, and just spun the rear end of the car off the 4th corner. And Josh Hansen tagged the rear Nerf bar, caught that car, and a nice job of saving it by McDeman.
And I don't think there was any maliciousness in tagging that Nerf bar. It's just a matter of you lift, you lose.
Exactly. Josh Hansen's there. He's going full song and really had nowhere else to go. And when you're battling for a win, that's the type of things that'll happen.
So it looks like the push vehicle going to get up behind Dan Anicoke and get him rolling once again.
Had such a good run going as well. Was up there in that 3rd spot in the Nitro 54 variety, number 15.
Well, and that's how you learn, Greg. That's how you get better. That's how you achieve the levels that, Chris Steele has gotten to and McDeman. You have to push your limits. So with 6 laps complete in this 8-lap qualifying heat, we're going to set them loose next time by. Mike Thorne took a wild ride last week in that Burger Barn number 55. Good to see him back on the racetrack. There really was never a doubt in our mind, though, was there, that he'd be back this Friday?
No, definitely not. Dedicated for sure. Happy birthday going out to Mikey. Happy birthday, Mikey.
Josh Hansen had an idea there, and I just think it didn't work.
Here comes Scott Kruder now. He'll size up Josh Hansen on the inside line. They work it off the corner 4. White flag out for your leader, McDeman.
1 more lap to go. McDeman out in front. Scott Kruder with a run on Josh Hansen. Gets to the outside. They make a little bit of contact, but Kruder goes on by for that 2nd position. That's how they're going to end it. McDeman, Kruder, Josh Hansen, Corey Turner, and Chris Steele with lots of smoke coming out the back of that number 80.
So McDeman picks up the win. The Ackland Insurance Ripshot Car Star Brantford, number 17X, driver out of Mississauga, Ontario. 2nd year in the 360 Sprint Car Division. He is still the all-time winningest driver in the crate sprint car division with 12 wins.
So we should give our fans a bit of a heads up. What's going to happen, folks? Just before 9 o'clock, we're going to have to regroup and get ready for a big intro, because at 9 o'clock, the intro will come on TV for MAV TV, and I want to say it's about 30 seconds, Greg, and then you and I are going to talk. And we want a lot of energy in this crowd. We want a lot of cheering, a lot of boisterous race fans. So it's going to be like we start things all over again at 9 p.m. for the TV broadcast. But we're so thankful that you're here. We're glad you've chosen to join us. And we'll want that high energy. 40 minutes away, my friend.
Time's ticking away. Here comes heat race number 2 for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core-Packed Sprint Car starting from the pole in the Dykstra Racing 5D. The Coldwell Banker 5D, that's Shane Ross out of Thedford. Going from second, last week's winner out of Scotland, Ontario, the 47X. The Sovereign Fusion Original Traders Energy car number 47X. D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Starting in third in the Nitro 54 Variety, car number 9, it's Steve Lyons out of Carlisle. And rolling off from position 4 out of Dorchester in the Steyrs Racing, car number 1, that is Holly Porter. Starting in fifth out of Port Colborne in the 43, that'll be Scott Shirk. And going from sixth out of Waterdown in the 0C, it's Cole McDonald. Starting in seventh out of Brantford in the CarQuest Auto Parts, number 10, Downtown, Mitch Brown. And alongside him out of St. Williams, Ontario, the Gales Auto Aftermarket 21 of John Burbridge Jr. And starting in the 9th spot in car number 46, that'll be Kevin Pauls.
So it looks like Cole McDonald failed to make the call for this one. That's a shame. Hopefully he'll get that car pieced back together for the feature tonight. Kyle McKenzie up in the flag stand, ready to send these drivers on their way for 8 laps of heat race competition.
Green flag out, Shane Ross will send it down into corner number 1, and here comes D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook right behind him, trying to find a line, but Steve Lyons was on the bottom.
Steve Lyons, always a beautiful entry from Steve Lyons. He has raced a lot of different race cars up there in the 3rd position, mixing it up. They've pulled away a little from Holly Porter.
Shane.
As I say that, Steve Lyons with a problem. That allows Porter to close in and the lead duo to pull away. Shane Ross out in front, doing a great job over Westbrook.
Shane Ross driving for Dykstra Racing, and that 5D goes way up high in 2, opens the door for Dylan Westbrook. D-Dubs. Red flag coming out as Scott Shirk.
You don't often see a car flop on its side, up on its end, back on its wheels. That was a self-cleaning accident, Greg.
That's the case for Scott Shirk down there in corner number 4 in the 43 machine out of Port Colborne.
Rescue team on site. Clinton Jeffrey on site as well.
Well, guys, from what we can see down here, everything appears to be all right on the Shirk machine. He is taking his gloves off and helmet, which means he's more than likely going to be done here in this one. So that'll do it for the Shirk 43. Don't see any major damage on the car, guys, but either way, he feels he's done, and he's climbing out under his own power right now.
Always good when they climb out. And you know when a driver's not too viciously upset. We're going to have to come up with a highlight reel of steering wheel tosses. You know, we've started to make a big deal of that. And how angry the driver is directly related to how far they fling their steering wheel when they pull it off.
I'm seeing a golden steering wheel trophy at the banquet for best toss of the year.
Hey, is that camera up in here yet, Greg?
There's a wire, no camera.
It's for the best.
While we have a break in the action right now, what we're going to do is the fan appreciation draw numbers. We'll get those in right now because, once again, once we get to 9 o'clock, we will be live on the air on MAV TV Canada and want to get some of this housekeeping done. So get out your tickets you got on your way into the Speedway tonight, and if you have one of these numbers, go down to the main entryway and claim your fan appreciation draw prize. First up, adult ticket 39261. Adult 39261. Senior youth ticket 39237. 39237. Season pass to 127327. Season pass 127327. Children's ticket 39257. 39257. And a carload pass 23980. 23980. Again, if you have any of those numbers, please make your way to the main entryway. Claim your fan appreciation prize. Read those numbers off one more time. Adult ticket 39261. 39261. Senior youth ticket 39237. 39237. Season pass 127327. 127327. Children's pass 39257. 39257 and carload pass 23980. 23980. Next break in the action, we will try and get the souvenir program prize draw in as well. So if we get the souvenir sellers down in front, the next chance we get a break, we will do the program prize draw as well. Again, 50-50 tickets on sale. Sellers in the pink shirts, flag them down, get in on tonight's draw. And we will be able to announce the winning ticket number tonight during one of our commercial breaks. So make sure you buy those tickets here tonight.
Cars have, well, the car cleared the racetrack, the Scott Shirk number 43, so they'll push everybody off. Looks like most of the field is up to speed. We will stack them up once again, Greg, and get ready to roll.
So it'll be Shane Ross and Dylan Westbrook back at the front of the field on this restart. Steve Lyons right there in tow in that third position. Holly Porter in fourth in that number 1 car. Mitch Brown back full time again at the Ohsweken Speedway here in 2019. And
So glad for that.
It's exciting to have both Brown brothers back. Always put on a good show. Always top competitors. And they did a lot of traveling down in the south last year. Continue to do it again this year as well. They have very busy schedules, but the Brown brothers back here full time is a great thing for Ohsweken Speedway.
So Shane Ross able to hold off Dylan Westbrook. There's not a lot of drivers at this racetrack who can say in the last few years they've been able to hold off Dylan Westbrook. Doing a nice job for the first couple laps. Let's see if he can do it for 6 laps more, Greg. 8 laps the distance in this qualifying heat.
Shane Ross out of Thetford, Ontario, up towards Grand Bend. Makes the long haul here every Friday night. Green is out. Shane Ross gets on the loud pedal. And Steve Lyons, he went below the cone, did he not?
He might have. He did a wheelie. Had to regroup, lift, get on the throttle again. So I'm not sure. He may have gone below the cone.
If he did, I believe it cost him 2 positions at the finish. If there is not a caution flag between now and then. And again, up at the front, Shane Ross goes high in 2, and Dylan Westbrook shoots by.
Dylan Westbrook, a magician at this racetrack. He just finds the line. He knows where to be. He leads the way out in front of Shane Ross. Ross still struggling a little bit up there in turn number 2. Westbrook pulls away. Kevin Paul's in that 46. Went from our Thunderstock division right to the 360 sprint cars. So he's running on the bottom of the racetrack. Dylan Westbrook should have no problem getting to the outside of him to put Kevin Paul's a lap down. You can see Paul slowed down even a little bit further. Doug Leonard must have mentioned something on the one-way radio. Hey, the leaders are coming. Pull down to the inside. Stay out of harm's way.
Dylan Westbrook works it off of corner 4, completing lap number 7. White flag in the air as he has done a nice job to pull away from Shane Ross. Back there in second, Holly Porter 3rd, Mitch Brown 4th, 5th right now, John Burbridge Jr.
Yeah, Burbridge made a nice pass on Steve Lyons. Lyons drove it a little too hard last time into turn 1, kicked the car sideways. Dylan Westbrook going to take the win. Shane Ross comes home 2nd, Holly Porter 3rd, Mitch Brown 4th, and rounding out the top 5, John Burbridge Jr.
Dylan Westbrook picks up the win in the original Traders Energy number 47X, the 2-time defending champion of the division. D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook picks up another heat race win. Interesting stat that Tommy Gooch passed along to me this week, and he mentioned that Dylan Westbrook, since he started June 2016 in the 360 sprints, he has 40 wins, 23 of those right here at the Speedway. Guess what his average is just here?
What's
23 wins in 44 starts. Pretty impressive for Dylan Westbrook. Over 50% in feature competition.
Unbelievable.
Third and final qualifying heat for the Cool Kids Ice and Water 360 sprint car, starting on the pole in the Hills Tire and Gas. Little Bend 110, Jake Brown. Going from second out of Lewiston, New York. The G&J Contracting 81, that's Derek Jonathan. Going from third out of Scotland, Ontario, the Total Rentals. Car number 87X, that is Sean Evans. And starting in fourth out of Fenwick. In the Gibbons Contracting 14H, that is the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen. Starting in the 5th spot, In the Dowler car number 6, it's Curtis Gartley out of Thamesford. In car number 45 this year. And going from the 6th spot in car number 68, the Ohsweken Speedway 68 of Aaron Turkey. Starting in 7th out of Caister Center, the Kingpin Farms 91 is Ryan Turner. And going from 8th in the Charlie B. Honey number 11, it's Jamie Turner, also from Caister Center. White flag is out. Next time by, we'll go to the green flag of the final qualifying heat of the night for the sprint cars. Up next will be our Twin 15s for the Thunderstocks. Their qualifying races, followed by the mini stocks.
Curtis Gartley not making the call for this heat race, so a little bit of attrition between practice and the qualifying heats in the sprint car division.
Out. Jake Brown will lead them down into corner number 1 as they all fan out on the front stretch.
Yeah, Jake Brown getting a great start. Jarek Jonathan was a little bit slower on the get-up, but even his positioning on the racetrack cost him a little bit of ground there, and now he'll battle for the 2nd spot with Jim Hoopinen. Doug Leonard did not like that start. That's going to cost Jake Brown 1 row from the looks of it. Doug Leonard not messing around today. He says the lineup's good. Let's try this again right now. We're not going to take another lap. So Sean Evans in the Hills Racing 87X on the pole. Derek Jonathan up on the outside in that 81.
Sean Evans, former crate sprint car driver, is the champion 1 year ago here in the crates right here at Ohsweken Speedway. He's the leader over Jake Brown, Jim Hoopinen. Jim had a good run last Friday night in that 14H.
Aaron Turkey with a big run. He lifted a couple of times to avoid mishaps, and it paid off for him because he went through 3 and 4, gained some spots, and going to give one of them back here in 1 and 2. Maybe 2 of them is Jamie Turner in the 11 looking to the inside.
Sean Evans works off on corner 4 with Jim Hoopinen in tow. Jake Brown right now in 3rd. The fight on the track is between Aaron Turkey and Ryan Turner. They'll go wheel to wheel into corners 1 and 2. Turkey comes out on top.
Turkey takes that 4th position. Out in front, it is Sean Evans by a few car lengths over Jim Hoopinen. Some of these drivers really struggling to find one smooth, consistent line. Jim Hoopinen, the most experienced of all the drivers in this field, with the exception of maybe Jamie Turner in that 11 machine. Fun watching him navigate his way around this racetrack, trying to find the ideal line that his race car likes.
Sean Evans setting sail into corner number 3, made his first 360 sprint car start last year at the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals and hasn't looked back, looks very strong in that Hills Racing, Nathan Ackland Racing 87X as he leads it again down the backstretch.
He's driving with a lot of confidence out there, and that's really what you need when you jump into this division, because most drivers know what it takes to be fast, but your mind can often play tricks on you and not want you to do the things that you need to do to make these cars work.
Coming down to the white flag, Sean Evans out of Scotland, Ontario will lead the way over Jim Hoopinen. Jake Brown is in that outside line in that 3rd spot. Here comes Aaron Turkey running 4th, and the fight for 5th is on. It's Ryan and Jamie Turner.
It's a family affair. The son, Ryan Turner, is in front of dad, Jamie Turner, in the 11. Jamie going to look to the inside, but Sean Evans is going to take the win. Jim Hoopinen in 2nd. Jake Brown 3rd. 4th going to go to Aaron Turkey. Who's going to get the 5th spot? It's Ryan Turner.
So Sean Evans picks up the win in the Hills Racing, Nathan Ackland Racing Total Rentals, number 87X, the driver out of Scotland, Ontario.
$15 laps is the distance for our semi-features or qualifying events. But first, we're going to do some work on the racetrack.
Okay, just checking. Do we have our souvenir program sellers down in front and ready? Yep, there they are. They're on their way. So we will get the program numbers done right now. Get your programs out. The number should be on the front cover. First up, $50 gift certificate to Grand River Dinner Cruises to $199. $199. If you have any of these numbers, go to the base of the flag stand to claim your prize. 2 general admission tickets to the Speedway, $109. $109. 1 hat courtesy of Caledonia Auto Supply to $107. $107. 1 hat courtesy of Queenston Chevrolet to $185. $185. And a large 3-item pizza courtesy of Wiggy's Pizza in Caledonia to $101. $101. Again, if you have any of those program numbers, go to the base of the flag stand to claim your prize. Go through those program numbers one more time. $199. $199. $109. $109. $107. $107. $185, $185, and $101, $101. If you have any of those program numbers, go to the base of the flag stand right now to claim your prize.
So a little bit of track work going on. Our push vehicles become packer vehicles. They'll try to pack in that loose clay. We want to have the best racing surface we possibly can. Clinton Jeffrey, I don't know if you're anywhere near the racing surface, but if you are, we could chat. If not, I know you've got a lot of things going on, so that's fine too. But folks, we are so pleased you are here with us for an historical night at Ohsweken. Is it historic night or historical night? I really need historic. Good friend of mine over my shoulders telling me I screwed it up, so that's all right. I'll make a lot of them over the course of the evening. Qualifiers lining up. So the way we're doing mini stocks and thunder stocks tonight, to save a little bit of time, we divided the field in half. There are 2 qualifying events. Top 16 from each will go into tonight's feature races. As you saw, the sprint car classes, qualifying was as it normally is for the sprint cars. Qualifying heats, there'll be a B main for the crate sprints. And then we'll have 4 A mains. A mains for each of our 4 divisions racing tonight. Got some new fans in the house, and actually it's so good to see people when they come for the first time, especially people that have been to races all over the place. Gary Short, involved in racing for many, many years, goes to road races, goes to oval track races, paved oval track races. This is his first experience with dirt. Says, I'm hooked. So good, Gary. That's what we like to hear. Another story I'll share, Kent Turnbull, who races with our Rivals Racing League online, of course, his family from Paris, Ontario, with lots of experience, says, I got the Station House Pub in Aldergrove, British Columbia, to subscribe to MAV TV today so a handful of us could watch the races tonight. That is so cool. So Kent Turnbull, we will definitely give them a shout out. And oh my goodness, who let Spencer out of his cave? The man, the legend, the man behind the curtain that nobody is supposed to see is down on the front straightaway, texting on his phone. He is looking at something. I'm sure something important is going on for him to have left his...
I don't think he's texting. He's got the magic cell phone that somehow puts all the feeds into his phone, and you can check them on the move. He's working on that front straightaway speed shot, and at noon, Spencer wasn't stressed, but I think we're getting to him now, Adam. 1 to go at the line. They're not messing around with this 15-lap qualifier. Top 15 will make it in. We'll see how it works out. Looks like everybody going to make the field tonight.
Sorry about that. White flag coming out in the Thunderstock, Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock qualifying heat. Here's how they roll off on the pole in the 84. It's Ryan Beagle. Outside of him in the 37 is Rob Hoskins. The 49 is Dave Bailey. The 96 is Steve Shaw Sr. The 11 is Go Fast Teeple. 14 is Johnny Lowenberg. 53 is Wade Purchase. The 21X is Mark Bazine. Jim Lampman in the 28. The 4 is Aaron Rowitsky. 40 is Derek Liverance. The 63 is Brandon Crumby. Casey Huffman drives the 13. Kyle Andrus in the 43. And Steve Shaw Jr. drives the 96 Jr. That's how they line up for this 15-lap qualifying heat. Steve Shaw trying to close the door on Dave Bailey. They're going down into turn number 1. Dave Bailey Left his nose in there for a little while. He'll drop back just a little bit, 15 laps. That's how long the feature events used to be in this class, so he'll have time to work his way to the front. But right now it's Ryan Beagle in the 84 leading the way, Clint.
Beagle with the move. He'll slide it up to the top side of the speedway and give away that lead position there as he gets up over the berm in turn number 2, and that'll bring Steve Shaw to the bottom. But Hoskins leading the both into turn number 3.
Down through 3 and 4, Shaw on the bottom, Rob Hoskins up high, Ryan Beagle up high, Dave Bailey up high there. The locals preferring the outside group, but Steve Shaw, regular at the Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, making the bottom look pretty racy as well right now.
Hoskins working on that high side with Beagle right in the exhaust fumes, along with Dave Bailey, the 49 right there with them. The 96 of Shaw still working on the inside quarter as they'll bring it off the bottom of turn number 2, and they go 3 wide down the back straightaway.
This is what we love about the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. They will find any piece of real estate they can and make it work for them. Settle down to 2 wide. Ryan Beagle with the position. Dave Bailey still in contention there, but falling back a little bit with Steve Shaw Sr. in the 96.
Hoskins still with about a 5, 6, 7 car length lead, stretching it out into turn 3, but Dave Bailey smooth through the middle as Beagle struggles with the cushion up on the top side, and that'll pop the nose wide, and he'll drop back to 4th.
I was just going to say, Beagle keeps losing the nose. He goes in higher, but you need the front end of the car to stick so the back end can chase it around. Down in 3 and 4, he lost the front end of that, had to slide up the racetrack, and it cost him a lot of distance.
Working down off of turn number 4 up on the high side, though. Rob Hoskins in that Firebird number 37. Dave Bailey going for what will be his 5th championship in a row this season, working in position number 2.
Further back, Mark Bazine gets up the racetrack in that orange and white Burger Barn number 21. That allows Aaron Rowitsky to the inside in that black and yellow number 4 behind them. Johnny Lowenberg with all sorts of traffic. That's Jim Lampman that just drove to the inside. Oh, this could be exciting.
Hoskins with the advantage. Sorry, Adams, they split the 43 down the middle, and Bailey going to take the lead away as Hoskins pinned up on the outside of the lap machine.
Yeah, Dave Bailey, I don't know if he chose that or just by chance he happened to get to the inside at the right time there, but it definitely worked out well for Bailey in the 49.
Bailey now with a 3-car advantage, pulling away. The guy looking good is Steve Shaw, ran excellent at Maryville a couple of weeks back, working on the inside here of the Hoskins 37 still.
Wow, Kyle Andrus way out of shape there in 3 and 4, almost clobbered the wall out of the 4th turn. We are clean and green, 10 laps down, 5 laps to go this time when they cross the stripe. It's Dave Bailey with a slight advantage over Rob Hoskins, Steve Shaw, and Ryan Beagle.
Yeah, Shaw working on that inside quarter of Beagle. Beagle working back up around the outside with the home track advantage here, but it's Dave Bailey working on lap number 11. He'll come around with 4 laps to go in the qualifier. Remember, Adam, we go back to time, so just because he wins the qualifier doesn't mean he'll be starting on the pole.
No, we've got a system for that as Go Fast Teeple in the 11 heads pit side. He had some sort of mechanical issue on that race car. There's now Casey Huffman in the shed in the day number 13 about to be overtaken and put a lap down by Dave Bailey with 3 laps to go.
Bailey going to find his way to the bottom of that Queenston Chevrolet. Number 49 works to the inside. Best battle out there is for second, as Shaw trying to chip away at the inside quarter of Rob Hoskins, number 37.
Wow, that cut skinny down there is Dave Bailey with a bit of an advantage. After working through that lap traffic, he opens up some car lengths as we have 2 laps to go.
Still a strong battle there, second through 4th. Hoskins tipping it up on the high side. Shaw working on the bottom. They nearly come together out of turn number 2. Right behind them, Ryan Beagle a long way back to the 53 of Wade Purchase, the Brighton regular.
1 more lap for Dave Bailey as he crosses the stripe. Rob Hoskins trying to hold off a hard-charging Steve Shaw. Down in 1 and 2, Hoskins slides up the racetrack, but he gathers it up with enough time to get a great run down the backstretch, Clint.
Dave Bailey brings it here off of turn number 4, and he'll win the qualifier here tonight and pick up his first $100 paycheck of the night for winning the qualifier. Now we'll see where he slots in for the feature. Second will be Rob Hoskins, then Steve Shaw, followed by Ryan Beagle and Wade Purchase, the top 5 here in this qualifying race number 1.
Fantastic racing in this one, Clint. I'm going to hand it back over to Greg. You can work with him, and I'm going to make a pit stop before the show really gets rolling.
Ready to go with qualifier number 2 for the Middleport Mechanical Thunder Stock Division. Logan Schwedek will go from the pole in the 53 out of Jerseyville. The Advantage Electric ride. Trevor DeBoer to the outside, the 23 out of Hagersville. He'll start second, starting in third. In the Club 54, number 25, Ken Sargent. Going from fourth in the Club 54, number 8, that'll be Ryan Dinning out of Hagersville. Starting in fifth out of Caister Center, Donnie Lampman in the 28D. Starting in sixth out of Canfield, it's Mark Fawcett in the 32, Jeff Roloffs in the 6R. Regular down the Chatham area, joins us tonight. He'll start seventh. Going from eighth out of Brantford, car number 1 is Chris Dickey. Starting in ninth in the Nitro 54 variety, number 24, that'll be Blake Bomberry Jr. And going from 10th, it is Christopher Hale out of Guelph in the 79 machine, the Draper Doors car. Starting 11th out of Oshweek, Frankie Turkey in that number 38, the Cool Kids Ice and Water machine. And going from 12th, Melissa Miller out of Hagersville in the 93. Starting 13th at a Caister Center, the 41, that is Adam Plasic. And going from the 14th and final starting spot out of St. Anne's, Ontario, it's Steve Vanderzanden. White flag displayed to this field of Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. So Logan Schwedek and Trevor DeBoer on that front row will bring us to the green flag in the second qualifier. Another 15 laps to set the field. Tonight also the Instapanels Duel on the Dirt home track race number 1 for this Thunder Stock division. Mini Stocks ran their race 1 week ago. Here they come to the green flag and they fire and head down the front stretch. Logan Schwedek on the inside, Trevor DeBoer up top. He twitched that car just a little bit. It opens the door for the Club 54 team cars of Ken Sargent and Ryan Dinning.
Working there on the bottom are those team machines running third and fourth right now. DeBoer up on the top side. Schwedek finished second last week, trying to work his way in the lead, rolling up the top side of turn number 2.
Schwedek leads down the backstretch, door to door for the second spot. Trevor DeBoer and Ken Sargent side by side, battling for that second spot as they rumble off the fourth turn. Schwedek will lead lap 2.
Schwedek to the middle of 1 and 2 with the advantage. Got Trevor DeBoer in the 23 running along with him in the second spot. Sargent and Denny, the teammates for Club 54 Racing, running in positions 3 and 4, and behind them Mark Fawcett in the 32.
Off the corner, Schwedek will lead lap number 3. 12 circuits left in this one with Trevor DeBoer riding in second. Sargent and Dinning remain side by side. Mark Fawcett back there in position 5. Donnie Lampman in there in the 28D running in 6th.
Got a couple cars slow on the top side of turn 1 and 2. Logan Schwedek with the advantage in the 53. He leads them down by about 5 car lengths out front of Trevor DeBoer. Well, the leader gets wild up in turn number 2.
Gathers it back up. Trevor DeBoer in tow right now as they go down into corner number 3. Schwedek, your leader. DeBoer right there in that second spot. Sargent running in third. Then you've got Ryan Dinning fourth, Fawcett fifth, and still feeling pressure from Donnie Lampman doing a nice job right there in 6th. Makes a challenge on the outside of Fawcett.
Working in position 3, still Sargent in the 25. They got a good gap over his teammate Ryan Dinning. Back behind Dinning, still Mark Fawcett in the 32, rolling tight right with them.
Across the stripe another time. It's 6 laps now on the board for Logan Schwedek. Driver to Jerseyville is now Blake Bomberry Jr. has problems up in corner 4, and that will bring out the caution flag. Bomberry coming to a stop. Does not seem to be able to get that car fired. And the window net down for Blake Bombery Jr., so signaling that he is not going to be able to pull away. The push truck will get up there, pick him up. So 9 laps left to go here in this qualifier for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division. Then we will take a break after this race to get ready to set up for the live coverage on MAV TV Canada. Safety crew down working on the 24, Blake Bombery Jr. It looks like he'll need a hook from the front, so not able to give the easy push back to the pit area. They'll get the car hooked up and ready to go. Bombery is on the hook now. They've got that car attached to the Steve's Towing tow truck there in corner 4. And we'll get these 9 laps run in to complete qualifying for the Thunderstocks. Mini stocks will come after the break and will be part of our nationally televised broadcast. I want to thank those who tuned in to the live stream online. And a reminder, the remainder of the broadcast can be seen on MAV TV Canada. Check your local listings for that. Logan Schwedek, Trevor DeBoer bringing us back to the green flag with 9 laps left to go in the second and final qualifier for the Thunderstocks. Back underway. Logan Schwedek will lead them through 1 and 2. Trevor DeBoer right there on his back bumper, much like it's been since the drop of the original green flag.
Ken Sargent, the 25, the 8 of Ryan Dinning side by side through 3 and 4. Man, they were close together down the back straightaway. They separate a little bit through 3 and 4 and then right back together down the front stretch.
Side by side for the lead. Trevor DeBoer now slips by Logan Schwedek into the top spot. Schwedek back to second, Sargent remaining there in third, along with Dinning and Fawcett, as once again Donnie Lampman putting the charge on the outside of that orange 32.
Donnie Lampman looking good in that, in that car that's not a Camaro, because the rest of them at the front are Camaros, a metric-style car out there with the hood starting to flap up just a little bit. Must have lost a hood pin on the right front corner of the hood of that 28, so it looks like it's starting to open its mouth a little, Greg.
Not sure if it's Stephen Petty or Dave Buchanan say that's the Elvis lip curl that Donnie Lampman's given right now. As the hood flapping along in that 28D, not slowing him down at all, fighting again for that 5th spot.
Side by side still down the back straightaway. Fawcett on the inside, Lampman up on the outside.
5 laps left to go. Trevor DeBoer, your leader. Logan Schwedek right there in tow in second. He'll put the pressure on the bottom side at corner number 2.
And Ryan Dinning looks to be losing a little bit of steam in that 8 machine. Dinning, one of the unstoppable forces over the years in this division, falling back in that 4th spot into the clutches of Lampman and Fawcett as the laps wind down. Just 4 laps to go. Trevor DeBoer running the high groove in 1 and 2. Logan Schwedek down low.
Down the backstretch they work with Trevor DeBoer leading them into corner number 3, followed by Logan Schwedek and Ken Sargent. Top 3 breaking away. Then it's a 3-car fight for the 4th spot with Dinning, Lampman, and Fawcett all right there.
That hood coming up higher and higher every lap. 3 laps to go this time. On the bright side, it's the right side of the hood, so it's not affecting the vision of the driver too badly. If it was the left side of the hood, I don't think he could see where he was going at all, Greg.
No, doing a good job being able to see out that left side, and trying to guess where the wall is, I guess, coming off the corners right now for Donnie Lampman. Leaders working through corner number 2. This time by, they'll see the white flag as they work it down the backstretch. They will have that lapped car right now to deal with, Melissa Miller.
Shouldn't pose too much of a problem for these race leaders. In fact, I don't know if they're going to get there or not. One more lap to go, and it is a 2-car battle at the front. DeBoer has the spot. Schwedek with the run through turn number 2, looks to the inside.
Down the backstretch they go the final time. DeBoer looking for the win. Here comes Schwedek in tow. They gingerly work it low, and DeBoer washes up the track. Schwedek sees an opening, but DeBoer will get the win. Schwedek finishes second over Ken Sargent, Ryan Denning, Donnie Lampman completing the top 5, Mark Fawcett 6th, Christopher Hale, Jeff Roloffs, Chris Dickey, and out and wide goes Adam Plazik into the bales. So Steve Anderson, and I believe, will complete our top 10.
Safety vehicle going to head over to Adam Plazik, and hopefully he doesn't run into it. Looks like Plazik going to be able to drive away. Safety vehicle rolls back, and we're going to head down towards the bottom area of the grandstand.